responds to Turkish troops moving into Syria to fight Kurdish militias who've helped our military fight ISIS. The president ordered the withdrawal of those troops from northern Syria. South Carolina Senator Lindsey Graham tells Fox,
I've been working with Democrat and Republican colleagues to issue sanctions against Turkey, and the blame here is with Turkey.
He says he spoke with President Trump about the situation yesterday. Last week, Senator Graham, a Republican, said the troop withdrawal was the biggest blunder of the Trump presidency. Queen Elizabeth tells a reconvened parliament in London that as Great Britain leaves the European Union,
my government will ensure that it continues to play a leading role in global affairs, defending its interests and promoting its values.
Negotiations continue today about how the breakup with the EU will be handled. The deadline is Halloween. America's listening to Fox News.
Centre College consistently delivers on its earned reputation as Kentucky's best school and among the top educational values in the nation. With 97% of Centre graduates employed or in advanced study within a year of earning their diploma, Centre students soon realize the value of their four-year degree, taking on the world with a global perspective, career-ready preparation, and the potential for extraordinary success. It's their guarantee to each student, backed by the Centre commitment. Visit centre.edu to learn more.
Your annual homecoming tailgate party was a rousing success. You caught up with your weird cousin Phil. You and your buddy Dave were crowned cornhole champions. Your famous potato salad drew rave reviews. The home team even won. But the best part was what didn't happen. You didn't drive home buzzed. You got a ride home from your cousin Phil, who may be weird, but also definitely sober. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid with funds through the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety.
We asked voters of the 46th Judicial District why they're voting for Bradley Butler for District Judge.
I really appreciate the job he's done.
Seems to me he'll be firm but fair.
I think he's very fair.
I've always found him to be a straight shooter.
He's an honest man.
I think he'll treat everyone fairly.
I'm Bradley Butler. I appreciate your support and confidence that I will be firm but fair. I look forward to serving as your next district judge.
Paid for by Bradley S. Butler for District Judge. Dan Drain, Treasurer.
Good morning. This is Kurt Scott, minister at Caneyville Christian Church. Join us this week for Sunday School at 10, followed by worship services at 11 and 6. And now, a Minute of Vision with Dr. Roger Patterson.
Easy learning? This is Roger Patterson with a Minute of Vision for Life. Proverbs 14:6 says, a scoffer seeks wisdom in vain, but knowledge is easy for a man of understanding. You know, as I see it, there are two ways to learn. The first is the way of the scoffer who seeks wisdom, but it has no end or purpose for him because he lacks vision for life. The second is the one who's been seeking God, seeking His way, seeking His path. He knows that his own way is not the best, that his own reactions are often full with pride and sometimes humility. He knows that he has a Father in heaven who brings knowledge to him by His precious Holy Spirit, and he's learned that this knowledge is some of the easiest knowledge he can have. He seeks God and gets vision for life. How is your learning? Is it hard? Is it easy?
You've been listening to Dr. Roger Patterson with A Minute of Vision, a ministry of Vision for Life Radio at visionforlife.org.
Fox Sports Trending now.
Carlos Correa craters an 11th inning walk-off home run to propel the Astros over the Yankees 3-2 to tie up the ALCS at 1. Game 3 is Tuesday at Yankee Stadium. NFL on Sunday, Steelers and their third-string quarterback Devlin Hodges leading Pitt over the Chargers 24-17 in Southern California. Here's Hodges on the thrill of making his first career start.
I was probably just giving the guys the idea of the play we're going to do. I mean, we already knew the play, but I was just kind of reminding them. And I think I might have mentioned that this might be a home game all day, so we might have to tell the crowd to settle down a little bit. So I don't know exactly, but I think that's it.
Meanwhile, the Jets steer clear of the Cowboys 24-22. The 49ers emasculate the Rams 20-7. And the Texans hold off the Chiefs 31-24. I'm Brian Fenley.
We are Fox.
K105 weather is brought to you by the 3 Grayson County locations of the Sicilian Bank.
Twin Lakes weather.
A few
beautiful day in store for us across Wave Country. A lot of sunshine, just a few passing clouds, and temperatures right back up into the upper 60s to lower 70s tonight. Looking at a mostly clear sky, a little cool again, falling back into the 40s for our Tuesday. Breezy, increasing clouds, and warmer highs in the low to mid 70s. From the Wave 3 News Storm Tracking Team, I'm Justin Logan.
This is In the Know for today, October the 14th, 2019. It's Uncle Sam Gormley filling in today. As you might be listening on K105 on Litchfield's Country Station 103.9 The Moose via the K105 or WMTL app, joining us watching on Facebook or listening on SoundCloud, one of the thousands and millions of different ways that we have to listen. Coming up today on the show, we've got some news headlines to bring you as some legislative news. As in fact, there could be a massive visit to the Commonwealth coming within the next month. Some sports news, some pumpkin trends, a new sundae that will be interesting, and then we'll let people know how to steal candy from their children coming up here in a couple of months, or a couple of weeks, because Halloween's coming. I'll bring in my two co-hosts, Misty and Christy.
Good morning.
Good morning. So welcome back.
Thank you.
As it's good to be back in the saddle again, back to normal and kind of get back into that routine and all of that. Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay, yeah. I could have taken another week with the wonky schedule and the lackadaisical days.
I'm a creature of habit.
Are you?
I like that same
you
thing.
Really are.
Yeah. Just same thing every day. It's nice to.
It's good for me. I'm not saying it's not good for me. I'm just saying I don't necessarily. Sometimes I just enjoy something being different, and another 10 days would have been better than just the 5.
So, Misty, you were out on Saturday.
I was out.
And see, we were out on Friday night, and we'll get to that here in a minute. But you had pretty nice weather on Saturday, didn't you?
Yeah, so I took.
Maybe a little chilly,
I took a coat. Well, it was, but I ended up setting up right in the sun, and it warmed up, and we were at Save-A-Lot. We were on location doing a live remote there, and had a successful day. Got my grocery shopping done. They had a great sale, so my freezers are full again. Thank you, Nice. Save-A-Lot. We gave away a lot of tickets to Sinister Tombs, gave away a lot of our specialty T-shirts for the year, the birthday T-shirts, since the Moose is 60 this year. And people had a lot of fun, so it was a good 2 hours.
Yeah, it seemed like it was, because you kept updating our Facebook posts with new pictures, and it seemed like every single time I would check, it would be 2 or 3 more people walking away with either a T-shirt or...
They got T-shirts and Sinister Tomb tickets, both. Yep.
Which, what more do you really need in life, right?
It pays to come and find me when I'm working. Yeah, I was going to say, she likes to give away things. Yeah.
So, that was a good thing.
Fun.
And you didn't have any rain?
I did not. You took up all the rain the night before, which I'm okay with. You used it all up.
Yeah, and luckily, I don't really have much room to talk because I was inside the press box at least, as our few members of our crew they took a burden. They took a burden to bring it to you.
Like, is there extra pay for rain? No. The manager says no. Kelly said no, a hard no.
We'll talk a little bit more specifically about the game itself here in a few minutes, but if you watched with us on Friday night on Facebook, you noticed that it was. I was telling one of my friends, I said, it wasn't just raining. It was 50 degrees, it was blowing wind, and it was pouring.
Yeah.
And it was just the point where like the water was just swirling around the field, and I'm not sure there was any grass left on the football field because it was just all mud. In Graves County, one of their best players, they wore white jerseys. By the end of the night, he was almost the same color as Grayson County because he was
just covered in orange mud.
And I heard
hate to be that mom, right?
And their play-by-play guy said, "Well, Mrs. Goatley's going to have a busy night tonight."
Yeah, right.
A lot of stain fighter.
OxyClean or something, right?
Because it was
put that to the test. Does that really work like it does on the commercial?
Well,
let's ask
we're going
Miss
to find
Goatley.
it. Yeah, we need to call her up and. Well, we might be seeing her in a couple of weeks for playoffs, so you never
let
know.
us know how the jersey looks.
Yeah, well, can't wait for it.
Mm-hmm.
So there was the big news late Friday that actually Politico came out with that said that the White House is planning an 11th hour push to stave off a possible embarrassing defeat for the Republican governor of Kentucky, with President Donald Trump and Vice President Mike Pence expected to make separate trips to the state in the run-up to the November 5th election. Trump is expected to travel to the state to stump for Governor Matt Bevin the day before the election. Meanwhile, Pence is slated to appear in the state on November the 1st. Final details have not been official, but I did see a report. This was probably 2 or 3 weeks ago from the Bowling Green Daily News that they do expect one of these to be in Bowling Green.
Oh, okay. Very good.
So,
Be close.
as far
If you're
as who,
interested in that.
they had mentioned at the time that they had a source tell them that it was going to be the president that was going to be coming to Bowling Green. I would presume that would probably mean Diddle Arena down there.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, he's come to Eastern Kentucky, so obviously. But logistically, I'm trying to think. I don't know that the Bowling Green Airport is big enough to hold Air Force One.
No, do they have a hang glider that the president's allowed to hang glide in on? Because I'm thinking,
or are they going to have to shut down? I just want to imagine them having to shut down 65 from
to
Louisville,
land Air Force
Louisville
One.
from Bowling Green, or from I guess it'd probably be Nashville to Bowling Green because Nashville's closer to Bowling Green than Louisville is.
There's Air Force 2. Does it get smaller?
Maybe,
is there an Air Force 2.0?
Maybe they will just hang glide
1.2. 1.2. He's coming in on a kite.
But obviously, once we know, you will know.
It's always neat, regardless if you like our president, you didn't like the last one, you don't, whatever. It's like the Pope coming to town. If you're not a Catholic, there's still the pomp and circumstance. There's I hear the music in Coming to America, when the king's driving through town and the girls get out with the rosebuds. Obviously, don't do the roses for our president, but it's just neat to be able to be a part of that. I remember going to the inauguration of our governor when I was in second grade, and it was important to the lady who took me to expose me to that. I can't even tell you which governor it was, but the pomp and circumstance stuck with me. So if this is coming close enough that you can get your kids to see,
it
is a neat thing to behold and see in real time, hands-on, and not just social media.
And you'll also get to
have
see
the nostalgia.
A nightmare logistically.
But I don't think those people bring things in that it'll be a nightmare for you working out. You won't see it though because they work their jobs very well. Those logistical
and I'm more just saying
workers.
For the people that are
having to figure that out.
Let's put it this way. I mean, my dad used to work right across from the airport that they would because they wouldn't always fly into the main Cincinnati airport, which is in northern Kentucky.
Right.
But they would fly into Lunken Airport, which is on the east side of Cincinnati, and he worked right across the street. It was, shut down. It was like you couldn't.
Yes.
He couldn't walk. It was just.
The security is real.
Oh, it's.
It is not just some people coming off the plane with guns and ear thing. It is
shut down.
Miles radius. You are not coming into the president's bubble.
Yeah, you can't go eat yourself a cheeseburger at the McDonald's.
But that's what we expect for we want our president safe. Like him or not, you don't want your president assassinated.
Oh.
So after, all of that changed after JFK. It's just like the Pope. When the Pope was shot, he now rides in a bulletproof carriage. Mm-hmm.
Kentucky freight shipments are currently among the nation's highest and are expected to increase by nearly 2/3 in the coming years. However, without adequate infrastructure funding for needed transportation improvements, Kentucky's continued economic growth could be at risk. Kentucky's freight system currently moves more than $578 billion worth of freight each year, which is the 14th highest in the nation. By 2045, freight moved annually in Kentucky by trucks alone is expected to increase 65% by value, according to a report by a national transportation research nonprofit. The report, which examines projected and current freight movement across America, credited the increased demand in freight transportation to economic growth, changing business and retail models, and increased reliance of e-commerce by businesses and households, among other factors. The report also found 21% of travel on Kentucky's rural interstate highways is by trucks, the 20th highest share in the nation. But that was kind of an interesting study there.
We need $244 million a year in the state of Kentucky to keep up our current infrastructure, which are not just roads, it's bridges, it's trains, it's waterways, it's all of those, it's airports. The scheduled infrastructure on the books that's been scheduled and approved, we need $200 million more a year to make those happen. And there's $9 million in needs infrastructure on the books that we don't have funding for. So pay attention. When you send your legislators and your senators to Frankfort, pay attention to what they're doing with infrastructure, because we have to figure out, we lowered our gas tax, I think it's by 6.6 cents or percent. I'll have to go back and look. I think it's cents, several years ago. So that's where our infrastructure money comes from. And then when our gas rates fall, the state, it feels good for our pockets, but the state's making less money. We have to get creative on how we're going to come up with this money, because we are losing brick and mortar stores and we're bringing in the Amazons, and they're making, it's changing the way that we're doing commerce here.
You mentioned gas, and 4 Louisville area Republican lawmakers are proposing legislation for the 2020 General Assembly to explore alternatives to reformulated gasoline, or RFG, which drives up the price of gas in Jefferson County, as well as parts of Bullitt and Oldham counties, to meet clean air standards. The proposed resolution would direct the Energy and Environment Cabinet to find an alternative way of complying with the Clean Air Act that does not require the use of reformulated gasoline.
I think we have more fuel-efficient cars now, so we're not using as much gas as we used to. We have electric cars, so we've got to figure out a way to tax the electric that we're charging at these charging ports. The Amish, you don't use our roadways. Should the Amish be responsible to be registered their buggies if they're going to be on our roadways? There has to be, you have to take an all-encompassing view, and you've got to figure out, where do we generate the money it's going to take? Because if our roads crumble, Kentucky shuts down.
The Kentucky Court of Appeals has upheld a lower court decision which dismissed claims by several students that the book, which described the sex scandal involving the U of L men's basketball program, diminished their value of their U of L education. 5 U of L students filed suit at Jefferson Circuit Court against Katina Powell, her publisher and co-author, due to her book Breaking Cardinal Rules, Basketball and the Escort Queen, in which Powell said she and her daughters engaged in or agreed to engage in, well, you know the story. So they had fallout from the book, led to the NCAA investigation. They took away the title, vacated a lot, and the students said that it diminished the value of their education, which the lawsuit said no.
I think they're wrong. I think it did. I think U of L took a hard hit over that. I think she knew what she was doing when she went into this inappropriate behavior, and I think she needs to be held accountable for diminishing the overall character and reputation of U of L. She played a hand in that. She was meticulous with it. She knew what she was doing.
At the same time, though, U of L was the one that did it.
U of L did it, but she knew what she was doing when she wrote that book. And I think they both need to be held accountable. But at the same time, when this woman went in with this...
But U of L is at fault in a lot of this.
You don't think she plays any role in that?
I'm not saying that she's a saint by any means.
But this lawsuit is about her.
This is saying that she's at fault
U of L as those people. They shouldn't. They should sue the people at the school who participated.
Yeah.
Not the school
but this
itself.
is saying that it's just her fault, and that's just not true, in my opinion.
I think she shares blame. It's not all her fault, but she shares blame.
I'm not denying that.
When you're in the industry that I'm going to call perverse and filthy, I don't feel sorry for you when you come out and you want to make money off of that, and then somebody wants to sue you for diminishing the reputation of the school they paid to have a degree from.
A former Estill County judge executive has admitted taking money belonging to the county government. According to Attorney General Andy Beshear's Office of Special Prosecutions, 57-year-old Wallace Taylor pleaded guilty on Friday to 1 count of abuse of public trust under $10,000, which is a Class D felony. However, he was sentenced to a term of 3 years, which will be diverted from a period of 5 years. According to the plea agreement, he will pay restitution of $38,850 to Estill County from the bail money that was posted in this matter. From December 2016 through March 2017, while serving as the Estill County Judge Executive, Taylor took more than $38,000 in state grant money that belonged to the county.
I think the biggest problem I have with this is his payback is $38,850. So you're being fined $850
for stealing $38,000. Yeah,
like that. So I'm not a fan of putting him in jail. I don't want to pay for him to have a cot and 3 hots a day. Like, I'm over that. My tax money should be used doing something more productive. But he should have to pay back at least 7 times what he stole. That's the biblical repercussion. You steal, you pay back 7 times. Let's get back to that. Maybe people would stop stealing.
I don't know if either one of you follow marathons.
Like the gas station or running?
I don't know.
Because I do go to a lot of marathons. However, this isn't necessarily a part of my life right now.
There were two big marathon records that were set this past weekend.
Well, it wasn't she and I.
Yeah.
It wasn't me and her.
As there was
it wasn't the duo.
a Kenyan man who ran a marathon in under 2 hours, which was the first person to ever do that.
26.5 miles?
26.2.
26.2. Okay, right.
In under 2 hours. And then, yeah.
I can't get gas. I can't get $26.2 worth of gas in 2 hours.
And then a Kenyan woman broke the women's marathon by 81 seconds.
Listen, what are they doing in Kenya that produces such fast runners? Because we've had multiple Olympians.
I actually do have the answer.
You do?
I do know the answer to that. See,
the
the thing that Kenyans have is that Kenya has a very high elevation.
Okay.
So when they run, their lungs have to work incredibly hard. So when they come and they run in Litchfield, it's
endurance. But their cardio
Exactly.
is beyond ours.
Oh, unlike anything. I mean,
So not a lot of vaping going on in Kenya.
It's like if they live in Denver.
All I can think of is the Seinfeld episode. Like, my life is just TV shows.
Yeah.
Simone Biles, she became the most decorated gymnast in history yesterday.
As she should. She's out of this world. She's like the $6 million man and bionic woman all in one, right?
Oh, she's fun to watch. The Cougar football team lost to Graves County on Friday night in a monsoon storm, terrible
I tuned
conditions.
in and watched just long enough that it was hurting my feelings. I had to quit watching. I'm like, poor K105 crew.
It was
bless their
hearts.
hearts.
It was rough. It was rough.
Sure.
Soccer teams, though, both are in the regional tournament today. The boys play Muhlenberg 7:30 tonight at Owensboro Catholic. The girls also play Muhlenberg at 7:30 at Davis County. So good luck to both of those Cougar soccer teams trying to open up the regional tournament with some victories. Western Kentucky started preparation in the spring, expecting Army to control the clock in the line of scrimmage. The game plan beat the Black Knights at their own, and the Hilltoppers did just that. Ty Story had 2 quarterback sneaks for touchdowns, and WKU beat Army 17-8 on Saturday night. So they beat Army. That's a good win for them. Louisville started piling up points early behind its quick strike special teams and big play receivers. Wake Forest's league best offense joined in with a late flurry. Louisville held off number 19 Wake Forest's late rally to upset the Demon Deacons 62-59 on Saturday night in the second highest scoring game in ACC history. The combined 121 points was second only to the 137 scored in Pittsburgh's 76-61 victory over Syracuse in 2016. And besides remarkable versatility with the football in his hands, Kentucky junior Lynn Bowden also showed impressive skill, remaining tight-lipped about whether he'd show skills as Kentucky's starting quarterback, as Bowden scored a 24-yard touchdown with 6:53 remaining to lead the Cats past the Razorbacks of Arkansas 24-20 and end a 3-game losing streak. That's really all you need to know right now. We're going to take a break and let you know a little bit more here coming up on In the Know.
Well, hey, the working man like me. I ain't never been on welfare, and that's one place I won't be.
Our family caring for yours. Those 5 words speak volumes about what you can expect at Twin Lakes Regional Medical Center. Compare your hometown hospital to virtually any across the state, and you will find we offer world-class technologies and comprehensive healthcare solutions far exceeding your expectations. But equally important to what we can do is how we do it. The Hometown Touch, the personal personal care. Set us apart and leave you on the road to recovery and restoration with a new sense of trust and confidence. Twin Lakes Regional Medical Center.
Attention, the following may contain spontaneous reactions to something surprisingly delicious, also known as the vocal phenomenon, woo.
McDonald's new spicy barbecue glazed tenders and chicken sandwich.
Woo!
Tender, juicy, all white meat chicken. Woo! Covered in a smoky,
woo,
mouth-watering, woo, barbecue sauce. So delicious, one bite will make you go, admit it, you just wooed a little bit. McDonald's new spicy barbecue glazed tenders and chicken sandwich. Flavor that makes you go, woo! At participating McDonald's for a limited time.
Your choice of lifestyle directly affects your health. And while there are many complex factors surrounding your lifestyle, sometimes the simple truth is that you just need to feel better. Well, rest assured, your feel better starts right here at Midway Pharmacy. We take our time to get to know you and your lifestyle so we can provide sound advice on ways to improve your overall health. So whether your goal is to maintain a healthy lifestyle or overcome that untimely sickness, remember, your feel better starts here. At Midway Pharmacy.
Google is set to release a few new goodies this week. First and foremost, a new flagship smartphone is coming, the Pixel 4 and Pixel 4 XL, which is expected to get an improved camera and face unlock and motion sensor, which lets users do things like quiet calls and skip songs with hand gestures. Chrome OS devices will reportedly get a new family member with the Pixel Book, which will be a much more standard laptop. Other possible stuff could be some Google earbuds and a new version of Google Wi-Fi. Streaming service Tidal is launching a Community Heroes discount for first responders, where they'll receive 40% off the premium price, make it at $4.99 and dropping the hi-fi plans to $11.99 per month. A study to estimate the monetary value that users place on the tools of modern life by some researchers at MIT and the National Bureau of Economic Research found the median user would need about $48 to give up Facebook for 1 month. The median price of giving up video streaming services like YouTube for a year is $1,100, and to stop using search engines, consumers would need $17,000 for the year. Tech Report, Larry Olson, NBC.
Today is Thanksgiving Day in Canada.
Ah. Oh.
So in case you needed an excuse to eat Thanksgiving food.
I'm hungry.
There you go.
Do they do the traditional turkey and ham and...
It doesn't say here.
Like Canadian ham or Canadian bacon? Is ham,
on
right?
my pizza.
Trying to see here if it says. Apparently one of the big things that they do is that they put honey on their pumpkin pie.
That's probably not bad. I'm not a lover of honey or pumpkin pie, so you can do it to it. It's not going to change my life.
Today is also Columbus Day, or Indigenous Peoples Day, I think is what they've also tried to train. Oh, back there it is. It says it right there. If I read it more, so no mail today. It is National Dessert Day.
Very good.
And that's all. So those are your holidays for today. I mean, dessert, Thanksgiving, and Indigenous people. What more? I mean,
it's the trifecta of a
right?
good day.
Now, Christy, you are the authority when it comes to pumpkins. Is that safe to say?
I hate to say the authority, but I'm up there.
She's a lover of pumpkins.
I'm a lover.
So do you know what the hottest trend of this season for pumpkins?
I do not.
It is the ugly, pimply one.
I was going to say it's the one that has the fungus
yeah,
on it.
We'll have a picture
Yes,
that'll
I love
pop up
them.
here.
Yeah,
but I've been doing this for years.
What is that?
I don't know what it is, but I like to incorporate those in my display.
There's a lot of texture to that, but it's strange.
Apparently, according to Cornell University horticulture professor Stephen Reiners, he said breeders are creating wild varieties because the public is always on the quest for something different. How they do it?
Yeah, I like the weird ones. I like the pimply ones. I like the striped ones. Yes.
So,
and I posted on Facebook my display, and I have some odd ones.
So that is the official new display of this year.
I'll try to send a photo to Cody and let him throw it up there of mine.
A Maine town is making boats using pumpkins that are weighing more than 1,400 pounds. We'll also have a picture of this one that'll pop up here as well. So a 1,400-pound boat full of pumpkins. As it's see, look at that.
Is that a real pumpkin?
Yeah, it's a pumpkin. I don't know.
Is that a gnome?
It is a gnome.
Right? We have
So this is in Damariscotta, Maine, where people are carving out giant pumpkins for a boat race, as the annual pumpkin regatta is today. Some of
That's
the pumpkins weigh more than 1,400 pounds.
So they are real
They've been
pumpkins.
racing pumpkins down the river since 2007. The annual pumpkin regatta starts at 11 a.m. our time.
That's fun.
It is fun.
So next year, the K105 Digital Productions crew needs to find out how to live stream that.
What's the nursery rhyme? The pumpkin. She lives in a pumpkin.
Another one about living in a shoe.
Living in a shoe.
No,
There
isn't
is
there
something.
a pumpkin? There's something.
Peter Pumpkin Eater, or
Peter Pumpkin Eater.
and that's something that.
Yeah, there's something like that. Had a wife and couldn't keep her. Put her in a
Yes.
pumpkin shell.
There you go.
There you go.
And there he kept her very well.
And I guess is it safe to say though that if Christy is our pumpkin authority, you're our sweets, Misty, you're a sweets authority.
All the desserts.
So
Unless there's nuts. Now those I would die. That would kill me.
I'm doing a quick scroll, and I don't see any nuts in this, but it is a $99 ice cream sundae that you can buy in Jersey Shore. And I think we'll also have a picture that'll pop up of this, as it gets you 24 scoops of ice cream, chocolate ganache in different colors, whipped cream, Nerds, Spree, peach gummies, mini jawbreakers, watermelon drops, gummy bears, M&M's, Pop Rocks.
You lost me.
Sticking out of the top, a big rainbow lollipop, a gumball machine, a candy necklace, cotton candy sticks, and a rubber ducky.
Okay, I love Pop Rocks. I love peach
It's
gummies.
pretty impressive, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And I'm not a sweet eater at all, but I like the accoutrements on it. Like the candy necklace, that's fun.
You lost me. I don't do candies like that. I do all things ooey gooey, yummy, toffee, peanut butter. I can't have peanut butter. I just can't have tree nuts.
It's
salted caramel, chocolate, brownie, cake, cookie dough. I don't do those kinds of candies.
I just saw that and was
It's interesting.
thinking on how
I don't think it's $99 worth, but it's interesting.
24 scoops of ice cream. That's a lot of ice cream.
I mean, who's eating 24 scoops of ice cream? I
How
mean,
can
I
you eat
can
it
at
that
once,
fast?
but
I mean,
yeah.
How do you
Let's
make
make
that
They
work?
just give you one of those cereal straws that you can,
Yeah, you have to at the end. It
At
turns
the
into
end.
a milkshake.
which would, I mean, that's a loaded milkshake. That's with a lot of, or I guess milk.
Melt your teeth. That's what they should call it.
Yeah, you get a free checkup at the next dentist
For
with it as well.
$99, you better get your teeth cleaned. Good grief.
So coming up here in, what do we have? Today's the 14th, so what, 17 days away? Is my math right on that? Halloween?
We don't do math.
Yeah.
16,
Se-
17,
six-
31st.
Yeah,
Yes.
something. It's coming.
I actually do math, and just so you know, I did very well on my math module while you were on fall break.
I'm so proud.
Yes.
I was in here working, and I
kept coming in the
I heard-
afternoons. I'm like, hey,
I kept
Sam.
hearing this on her phone, tapping away at the calculator.
Calculator.
It was,
Exponents.
I'd look in, and it would just be one of those, angled in.
Just
she
so
was
you all
locked
know,
in.
I can now properly equate the linear growth of our community or the life of a tree or the destination to the apocalypse when it's going to happen. Or how many elephants. If I have 10,000 elephants and they are multiplying and they are doubling at a rate of 3%, I can tell you how many we will have in the year of 2028.
Yeah, because their gestation is really long.
I want to know now. You've asked. You said that you can do it. I kind of want to know what.
I need your calculator.
And your papers.
Yeah.
Longhand.
I know the equation.
So, how to steal candy from your children. So, parents, if you might have a young one in your,
We're good.
You just take it.
so here are some tips. Try to distract them from what they're actually getting when they get it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So that
you
they don't
can-
remember.
Well, I would always go,
yeah.
Reese cups again. Hopefully we'll get something better at the next house.
This is one that.
That kid.
I love that picture.
That's me. Every day that I go to the cupboard and go, I didn't buy desserts. Why do I do this to myself?
My parents would do this one, and I think it was more for the serious one. But you always have to check the candy, make sure it's
Yes.
doesn't have any
Yep.
razor blades or
Yep.
poison in them.
Yep.
And maybe this one.
It was a real
there's
thing in the 80s.
Oh yeah, there's the Reese cup. Oh, that one's got poison in it. I'll
And
just
then
have
you
to
put it behind your back.
Yeah,
and go
exactly.
on.
Let them have a candy feast on Halloween night. Not only is this a fun tradition, but it also makes Halloween seem like one night of candy and not a month of slowly eating too much candy every single day. This also means that they're going to eat their favorites right away, which remains it safer to take without incident.
My kids like different candy, so it was always fun to watch them come home, like pour out their bag, sort it all out, and then start the trade game. Like it was their currency. They had currency
That's
again in
fun.
their life. And then Eli loves his mama so much that he would bring me like, he would barter for me my favorites, then he would bring them to me.
See, our rule was
he's a
that
good
my
kid.
mom was peanut M&Ms was
Yep,
hers.
yep.
And then she would always, I think her rule, and she's probably watching and she'd be able to comment and let us know that we'd have to give her a bag because she was a teacher at that time.
Yeah.
And she would have the candy as a reward. So we'd always, my little brother and I would have, I think she'd give us like a gallon Ziploc and she'd be like, okay, fill it up.
I love it.
I drove you.
Your mom is awesome.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I need-
Adele,
I
you need
need
to
some
raise all the
payment.
kids. You should be teaching parenting
Yes.
classes now.
Talk about the items they're most excited about. This lets you know what they absolutely will notice.
Mm-hmm.
So if they say that they're excited about the Reese Cups, then that might
Baby
not be.
Ruths were never on the list.
Try the Switch Witch, a newfangled Tooth Fairy-esque figure who will bring children a toy if they leave out most of their candy for her on Halloween night.
Now I got too many things already showing up at my
I'm
house
like,
while we sleep. Fairies and fat
I'm too
guys
tired.
and yeah.
I like this one. Tell them the candy has to ripen. It's not bad. Blame ghosts. If you steal gradual, don't do it too gradually. And just take it. Because what are they even going to do?
Yeah, that's my
Right.
thing. Like this is
I'm still your mama.
I drove you, so you pay me back gas money with candy.
I read this study this morning, and this is one that, because I always, seemingly every time I'm in here, I have a study that I go, what?
Mm-hmm.
And this could almost just be just the headline. A new study says bees are better at math when they're punished for the wrong answer.
Bees.
Bees.
As in
Like,
bzzz.
bzzz, yeah.
I'd probably be better at math if somebody punished me when I got my answers wrong.
Bees have already proven that they can count up to 4 and learn some basic arithmetic. Now, new findings published in the Journal of Experimental Biology suggest that they can compute even higher numbers if they know they'll be penalized for the wrong answer. As
What's
the
the
author
penalty?
trained 22 honeybees that were randomly collected from 25 hives in France. They were split into 2 groups and taught to enter a Y-shaped maze and choose between 2 options, one right and one wrong. Honeybees are better at counting when they know they'll be penalized for making mistakes.
What's the
penalty? A drop
what I'm
of
asking.
quinine, which is a bitter compound. Quinine, I guess. The bees who knew about the quinine consequence chose correctly the 4-shaped image when paired with a 5-shaped image 59% of the time. Bees pay more attention when there's a potential for punishment.
Wow.
I have so many questions.
Why can't we, society, get back to parenting children instead of bees?
According to them, according
are
to the
important.
study here, that their ability to count numbers is on the same level as African gray parrots, dolphins, and guppies.
Your mom.
Oh, when I was teaching, I had my students. It was her students that would bring it. That was right
Okay.
for rewards. I felt like it was a
Good
gallon
morning,
Ziploc
Adele.
for us.
She may have started with you. She
Yeah, that might
built
have been
you
it.
all first. Then she moved her students. I love it.
So the average shopper says that they give a company 3 strikes before taking business elsewhere. A new poll found that the average American consumers will give a retailer only 3 mistakes with their purchase before deciding to never shop with them again. Nearly 8 in 10 Americans also say that they wouldn't shop with a retailer ever again if they encountered bad customer service. From social media to old-fashioned emails, Americans contact retailers 125 times a year. That's every 3 days. The survey of 2,000 Americans asked their thoughts and opinions on customer service practices and experiences and found that despite this 3-strike policy, Americans aren't that forgiving when it comes to bad customer service experiences. So do you do a 3-strike? If you have a bad experience at a place, do you go back?
Yes, I probably do. I have never thought about a 3-strike, but I probably am at a 3-strike. Like I know everybody has a bad day. Every company has a bad moment. I mean, nobody's perfect. But
I don't shop, but I mean, I don't think that you do a 3-strike.
But I think it could even work for a restaurant. If you go out to a restaurant, do you give them a second chance?
yes,
I do,
I
yeah.
do.
Do you give them a third chance?
Yeah, I probably do. It has to be really bad for me to...
me too.
And I think that's pretty standard for, I guess.
Even, like, if my server is really crappy, I will tip them more with a note card that says, I hope your day gets better. Because I do allow people to have really bad days. I've been the server, and I think everybody needs some encouragement in life. Now, if you intentionally are giving me bad service, I can discern that, and I won't do that. But I can also discern when you are off your game because you are having a really bad day.
Overworked,
yes,
understaffed,
you
something
don't
along the
know.
lines of
Their
that,
mom
yes.
may have just been diagnosed with cancer. You may have you have no idea what's going on at home. So I try to discern the situation and react appropriately to be encouragement. But I'm more prone to have a conversation with management about the things I experience as a customer to help them understand in a way that is not demeaning but is constructive than I would to stop using the service.
Exactly. And I just found that just kind of interesting because it was one of those that I sat and thought, and I was like, yep, that's probably pretty accurate. About 3 times is how many. We've got to get to a break. We'll have more here on In the Know coming up after this.
Did you know that experts estimate that 80 to 90% of disease is stress-related? Massage can help by lowering your blood pressure, increasing circulation, reducing fatigue, and increasing energy. Call Renee Smith at 270-505-5463 to set up your appointment for a therapeutic massage today. Renee also offers gift certificates and is conveniently located on Elizabethtown Road in Litchfield. 270-505-5463.
Homeowners, especially on the lake, have most likely experienced or will experience water erosion on their properties. There is a solution and preventative measures that can protect against this type of erosion. With the help of products and service from Scotty's Contracting and Stone, Crushed Rock Road enhancements can provide erosion control and shoreline protection. Well-designed and maintained erosion control helps ensure that today's beautiful and safe landscapes remain so tomorrow. To discuss erosion control and shoreline restoration solutions with Scotty's Contracting, call 270-259-5696.
America is kept safe because the Army National Guard responds, protects, and supports our nation when it needs them most. The Army National Guard responds to disasters such as wildfires and floods. They protect us with missile defense, cybersecurity, and civilian support teams for chemical, biological, and radiological hazards. Be there for your community and your country. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Kentucky Army National Guard. Aired by the Kentucky Broadcasters Association and this station.
The federal government provides $150 billion a year to make higher education possible for anyone. Completing the free application for federal student aid, known as the FAFSA, is the first step to getting your share. But an estimated $40 million in financial aid is left on the table each year by Kentucky students. Don't let that happen to you.
Fill out the new and improved FAFSA today. Visit knowhowtogoky.org and join the conversation on Twitter. #KnowHowToPayKY. This message is brought to you by the Pritchard Committee Student Voice Team and the Council on Post-Secondary Education.
At the University of Kentucky, there are no bounds to our campus, no limits to our ambitions. Now you can earn a degree from UK anywhere. Every day we're expanding our reach and impact for a world that moves faster and demands more. Over 30 degrees and certificates, 100% online, from Kentucky's flagship university. We're prepared to adapt, grow, build, challenge, and succeed. Together. Find your program at uky.edu/ukonline.
It's one of the interesting things about farming is that probably no 2 days are exactly the same. The day-to-day things are not chores to us. They're work sometimes, but yet in the long run, they're things that we are very passionate about doing on a daily basis. We're a part of providing a quality product to our urban neighbors.
From our hands to yours.
We're Kentucky beef producers, helping to feed Kentucky.
Kentucky farm families.
Feeding Kentucky.
Feeding the world.
K105 Weather is brought to you by Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield.
A beautiful start to the work week as we see temperatures back into the upper 60s to lower 70s and a lot of sunshine, just a few passing clouds. Tonight, mostly clear, a little on the cool side again. We'll drop it back down to the 40s area wide for our Tuesday. Increasing clouds by late in the day, breezy and warmer highs in the low to mid 70s. From the Lee 3 News Storm Tracking Team, I'm Justin Logan.
Yeah, you make me feel like I've been locked out of heaven for too long.
Did you know that all apes laugh while they are being tickled? That kind of made me chuckle this morning.
That's fun.
Did you know that all apes laugh when they are being tickled?
I did not know that, but that's fun.
Yeah, it's kind of a fun little thing here. How about we do some water cooler question here?
All right.
As I've got, let's see, what do I,
You've got-
these are how about these?
Yep.
Let's do these. How many should I do?
You can do all 6 if you'd like.
Oh.
We have lots
You know
of
what?
haunted
Why not?
attractions to give away
We'll
over
do
the next
it.
couple weeks.
We're
That's
feeling
fun.
Monday. We've been off for the week, so
Sure.
we're going to have some fun. So we're going to do, the water cooler question for today is 6 tickets to Sinister Tombs Haunted House. So that's in Hardin County, correct? I think.
Yes.
So Sinister Tombs, 6 tickets. If you can be the smartest person around the water cooler today, as the number is 270-259-6000. As a reminder, you cannot have won in the past 30 days, and you must be 18 years or older to win.
Thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
I love it.
We got to
Good
throw
housekeeping.
it out there.
Mm-hmm.
Here is today's water cooler question. The average woman will do this 3 times a year at home. The average male only once. What is it? The average woman will do this 3 years at home. The average male only once. That
3
is
years
the water
at
cooler.
home? Or
3
3
times.
times a
3
year?
times
Okay.
a year at home. The average male only once per year. What is it? That is today's water cooler question. 270-259-6000. 270-259-6000. That is for 6 tickets to Sinister Tombs Haunted House. As again, the average woman will do this 3 times a year at home. The average male only once per year. What is it? 270-259-6000. 270-259-6000. The box office. The Joker was number 1 again for the 2nd week in a row. $55 million. The Addams Family was number 2, which is kind of cool. This one kind of snuck up on me. I didn't even know it was a thing.
I want to see it. I like the Addams Family.
Gemini Man is number 3. Abominable, which was another one that I had no idea was a thing, that's number 4. And Downton Abbey is number 5. So, are you going to see The Joker?
No, absolutely
Is that something that you're interested in?
I will probably see. In fact, I watched The Dark Knight last night.
Okay.
No,
So
it's
I-
too dark for
I'm
me.
not
It's
interested, but
It's really dark. So, again, your question is, the average woman will do this 3 times a year at home. The average male only once per year. What is it?
so at home, correct?
At home.
Okay. All right. So my first one.
So 270-259-6000 for 6 tickets to Sinister Tombs. As a woman has created dating and photo app for dogs. As an app described as a mix of Tinder and Instagram for dogs is starting beta testing in Knoxville on Thursday. It's called Dig Dog and was inspired by a Knoxville double doodle named Baxter. We're bringing dogs into this digital community, said McNamara. Pet parents can log on and build a profile for their pet, and then follow other Knoxville doggos. Swipe right, swipe left, and comment and like all of the best interest of your fur babies. That is called Dig Dog. It launched on October the 10th, and it is expected to go live in November for all users.
So we have a Dig Dug. There used to be a game on Atari called Dig Dug. So that's all I can think of. Like, I can't even comprehend, like, what is Dig Dog?
Dig Dog is the...
It's like a dating app for your dog?
Yes. So I guess it's for
Dogs
play
need
dates.
to go on dates?
It's for play dates and...
Don't they have doggy parks and they can just kind of like...
Well, some dogs... I have no idea.
It's interesting.
So I know that... Isn't Mark anti-paper straw? Or is it you? Or who?
I don't think we're anti-paper straw.
It's more just an annoyance of ways.
Yeah, like, no, like, we're big on the clean up the plastic on the earth.
Yeah.
We don't think the paper straw is going to be the way to go. He leaned more towards the pasta straw. Yes. See what's coming in the door? Sorry. I just said I didn't have a shipping date. Thank you, Tootsie Roll Company.
So there is your next...
Our Halloween candy has arrived for Safe Spot.
But what they are now coming up with is, and this can be whatever liquid you want in it, is paper beer bottles made from sustainable wood fiber with a coated interior to prevent seepage. So
Okay,
again, you can put water, you can put whatever you want in it, But we'll have a picture that'll pop up here in a second.
My neighbor bought laundry detergent, one of these over the weekend, and was sharing on social media that she would like to see this become a thing. And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. That would be amazing if it actually will hold and not, obviously it does.
Yeah,
okay,
so
I think this is the wave of the future. I think this is where we're going to have to go because the amount of plastic, it is doing a lot of harm.
Okay, let's see here. The water cooler question. Let's go to Shannon. Good morning, Shannon.
Good morning.
The average woman will do this 3 times a year at home. The average male only once. What is it?
Is it color their hair?
Color their hair. That is incorrect. Try again. That is a good answer, though. We will go to Kaylin. Kaylin, the average woman will do this 3 times a year at home, and the average male only once. What is it?
Wear their pajamas all day?
Wear their pajamas all day.
Oh, I do that.
That is correct.
That's it?
That's only
Yes.
3 times a year?
Oh,
3 times a
you did
year.
it wrong.
Congratulations, Kaylin. We'll put you on hold and get some more information from you.
You're doing it wrong.
No. Who got polled? People in jail that don't have pajamas? I said clean out the closet, clean the garage, clean the windows.
I finally came up with iron.
Iron?
Yeah.
What else did you have?
Clean out the fridge.
Well, see, if you're Misty, though, iron is, 3 times a day?
Yeah, I iron everything.
I was going with
Clean
me.
out the
She's
fridge,
weird.
you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I clean out the fridge more than once a
Jason
year.
does all of these things more
Yeah.
than I do, but we're not the normal family. We're
Yeah.
not, we're more like the Addams family. We're not the normal family.
An underage college student was busted for drinking with a McLovin fake ID at the bar.
McLovin.
McLovin from Superbad. I don't know if that's a movie that.
I'm a little bit familiar.
So he had a fake Hawaii ID with the name McLovin in there, and I've seen these sold.
I've seen them sold. Where?
So
Are you on
there's
the
his
dark
face.
web?
Oh no, you can buy these at like joke store or
Oh, okay, like
if you
Spencer's.
go to something
those.
on
So I hate to admit it, but I have a Marilyn Monroe ID. Yeah, you can buy them like at souvenir shops.
Souvenir shops, gotcha, yeah.
okay.
And he
'Cause-
just used one.
Yeah, and shockingly, it didn't work.
What?
As in the film, this character that's up there used a fake Hawaiian driver's license with the name McLovin and a June 1981 date of birth.
Bless it.
McLovin.
The woman,
McDonald's should have something on their menu.
the woman dubbed the serial stowaway for her history of sneaking onto flights without having tickets, struck again Friday and was arrested at Chicago's O'Hare International Airport. 67-year-old Marilyn Hartman was charged with 1 felony count of criminal trespass to a registered area at an airport after police say she attempted to bypass a TSA lane divider and pass through airport security at O'Hare's Terminal 1 without a boarding pass or identification. This is not the first flight that she's tried to do.
Okay.
This past March, she was given 18 months probation after pleading guilty to sneaking on a flight to London. And she was apprehended in London, but just 2 days after her arrest, she was again seen at O'Hare, taken into custody when she refused to leave the airport. In 2014, she ducked TSA in an attempt to board various flights without a ticket at least 8 times. She was also arrested twice in 2015 at the airports in Chicago.
So this is her thing. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody should have a thing.
And so here's the thing: if I'm not in a hurry, if I'm like having a layover or whatever, I want to see this happen. Like,
well,
how
I'm
fun.
wondering how many flights has she successfely gotten on that
It doesn't say
she
here.
wasn't caught? Like,
It
is
doesn't
it
say
a
here.
100%
But she's
success
attempted.
rate? She's been caught.
She's attempted
8.
More than that, because
I
it's
say
been a
she-
couple of times this year, 8 times in 2015, twice in 2015. So.
I think this is like, the people who have shoplifting issues. They got caught 8 times, but they stole 800 things, right? How many planes did she get on? And I'm not, like, if you're going to have a thing, like, make it a legal thing.
Yeah, and it's just her mugshot there. She looked. So she is the serial stowaway.
She looks like the innocent granny, right?
She just wants to go to London.
And not pay for it.
Next time they're just going to
not?
send her to London, Kentucky, and say you didn't say where.
Get dumped there, lady.
We got to get to a
Begging
break.
it out.
We'll wrap things up after this. You're in the know.
A lot of moms say they're stressed out. Is it any wonder why? They're driving themselves into the ground, chasing a standard of perfection no one could possibly meet. A lot of you know what I'm talking about. You're a full-time employee outside of the home, a job you go to only once you've gotten your children up, fed, and off to school. And when you get home that night, you're still on the clock. If you're not cooking dinner or helping your children with homework, you're probably driving somebody to their soccer practice or dental appointment. You're also expected to be an expert on, well, everything, from allergies to bedtime issues to problems with childhood friends. The perfect mom has got it all figured out. Maybe you set unreasonable expectations for yourself. You feel guilty that you're not able to do it all. Here's an idea. Make a list of what you do every day and pay attention to how you talk to yourself about those things. If your inner dialogue is critical or judgmental, ask yourself these questions. Would you talk that way to your best friend? How about your daughter? Would you criticize or judge her for not being a perfect mom? If your answer is no, then cut yourself some slack. Give yourself the same grace that you'd give other women. To be the perfect mom, you don't have to be perfect at all. Only present and engaged in the lives of your children. For more to help you thrive, go to FocusOnTheFamily.com. I'm Jim Daly.
Attention, the following may contain spontaneous reactions to something surprisingly delicious, also known as the vocal phenomenon, woo.
McDonald's new spicy barbecue glazed tenders and chicken sandwich.
Woo!
Tender, juicy, all white meat chicken.
Woo!
Covered in a smoky,
Woo!
mouth-watering,
Woo!
barbecue sauce. So delicious, one bite will make you go, admit it, you just wooed a little bit. McDonald's new spicy barbecue glazed tenders and chicken sandwich. Flavor that makes you go,
Woo!
At participating McDonald's for a limited time.
Your annual homecoming tailgate party was a rousing success. You caught up with your weird cousin Phil. You and your buddy Dave were crowned cornhole champions. Your famous potato salad drew rave reviews. The home team even won. But the best part was what didn't happen. You didn't drive home buzzed. You got a ride home from your cousin Phil, who may be weird, but also definitely sober. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid with funds through the Kentucky Office of Highway Safety.
If you're a student entering a community college or university, check this out. You can save money in college tuition by finishing your degree on time. Just earn 15 credit hours each semester or 30 a year. Do the math. The longer you stay, the more you pay for a college degree. Talk to your advisor and make a plan. Take 15 to finish on time. Get in, get out, get going. Visit knowhowtogoky.org.
This message is sponsored by knowhowtogoky.org.
So in honor of today being Canadian Thanksgiving, what is the best Thanksgiving dish is my point to ponder.
That's really hard, but for me, it's going to be mashed potatoes, hands down, because my husband makes the best Thanksgiving mashed potatoes ever.
My mom makes good mashed potatoes. She makes her gorgonzola mashed potatoes.
Ooh, can we have that recipe if we can't have the deviled eggs?
Right, we can't have anything from Sam.
No, the gorgonzola one she probably shares. She calls them her moldy potatoes.
Okay, Adele, we expect that recipe in the comments to share for all. I love dressing, stuffing, whatever you want to call it. So that for me is Thanksgiving. I don't know that I love it and it's my favorite thing I put on my plate, but for me that brings in Thanksgiving. So then my kids and I, really my girls, we like to try a different version. So we make regular stuffing and then you will add like breakfast sausage and onions and mushrooms and cranberries and apples and
see for me
play with it.
So one year Mark made oyster.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yes. Was it good? No, didn't like it.
Not so much. Okay. We've not done it again.
But you tried it.
If you gave me the list of your traditional Thanksgiving foods, stuffing would probably be at the bottom for me.
Yeah. I love stuffing. But it has to be on the corner, the burn. Like I like that.
I like the middle.
Yeah.
No, I like the middle.
I don't know. It's just not my go-to. I mean, deviled eggs, but that's not necessarily.
It has to have.
It's every
but that's my
family
thing,
function.
Like, I don't eat the turkey. I want the ham. I want the stuffing, and I want a deviled egg and mashed potatoes with it. I need really good garden canned green beans. Like, I don't want a green bean casserole. I don't like the casseroles.
See, I do like green bean casserole, yeah.
Oh, I make a good one.
Oh, yeah, now I'm getting hungry.
Me too, I'm starving.
So Canadian Thanksgiving is today. Today's highlight in history is Winnie the Pooh. It's Pooh Bear Day, as Winnie the Pooh made its debut on this date in 1926.
I love Winnie the Pooh.
Mm-hmm.
On this date in 1964, the youngest person to receive a Nobel Peace Prize received the $54,000 award this day. Martin Luther King Jr. donated the dollars to support civil rights in the United States. On this date in 1965, Dodger ace Sandy Koufax, working on just 2 days' rest, pitched a 3-hit shutout of the Minnesota Twins. On this date in 1977, Bing Crosby suffered a fatal heart attack and passed away at the age of 73. On this date in 1984, George Sparky Anderson became the first baseball manager to win 100 games in a World Series in both leagues. Obviously, he did it just about 10 years prior with the Cincinnati Reds. On this date in 1987, 18-month-old Jessica McClure fell 22 feet into an abandoned well in Midland, Texas. Apparently, this was a media frenzy.
Oh my gosh, we like hovered around the television waiting for baby Jessica to be
And she was
rescued.
Fine, I think, all things considered, wasn't she?
It's actually CNN
58
does
hours
these
later.
great decades. We
Oh,
are the
those are
90s where that
fantastic.
So, and then they take different lens, for like it'll be the music or it'll be the political. The news made like the baby Jessica rescue made those the decades of the 80s for that.
On this date in 2003, one of the most infamous moments in sports. 5 outs from their first World Series berth in 58 years, the Chicago Cubs saw their luck change when a fan's attempt at a foul ball catch interfered with Moises Alou's catch of a ball. So what had happened is a Cubs fan reached over the wall and caught a ball that possibly could have sent the Cubs to the World Series, and he interfered with it. And then on the next play, the Marlins ended up winning the game, taking the lead. I think it was the Marlins, if I'm right.
So what happens to
people
Marlins.
are mad, right?
Oh.
No. This guy is, until the Cubs won the World Series 2 or 3 years ago, this man couldn't show his face in the city of Chicago.
Yeah,
Steve
I'm
Hartman
sure.
is his name. They've done a documentary on it. It's his life since this happened. And as the point was, any fan would do that. It's just human nature to try and catch the ball.
If a ball is coming your way, right? I mean,
It's human nature, and he, yeah, it's a horrible situation. Right? If you're, I mean, it's something that even if you don't like baseball, you can connect to just the person that he has had to. He lives his life. I think like he lives alone. It's just one moment. Yeah, it's almost a little like, okay, Cubs fans.
I think the Amish
The
are
poor guy.
recruiting if
The
he
poor
needs a
guy.
new group of people.
On this date in 2005,
Seriously,
Daniel
like, that's
Craig
sad.
became the 6th James Bond.
And there's like, what, 45 of them now?
Oh, who knows?
And now
6.
there's a female.
She's, I don't even remember what her name is. Birthdays. Turning 80 is Ralph Lauren. And Gone But Not Forgotten. There's not really any birthdays, but a lot of Gone But Not Forgottens. William Penn, Dwight Eisenhower, E.E. Cummings, John Wooden, and another James Bond, Sir Roger Moore. Those are your birthdays. How about some chart toppers? So I can
Yay.
disappoint Misty again.
It's not you, Sam, that disappoints me. It's the music.
Well, maybe not.
1946. Minutes more.
Sinatra was number 1.
Minutes more.
With 5 minutes more.
Sinatra is
Let me
like
stay
somebody in a political office
in
that
your
I don't
arms.
love them, but I respect the office. Like, I don't love
Here am
Sinatra, but I
I
respect his career.
You could listen to him sing that all day. Just that voice. Really? I think he's just got such a smooth...
He does have a nice voice. I don't prefer the genre he used it up on.
What would you want him to sing it on?
I don't know. Try a Def Leppard love ballad. Let's see where it works there. I'll get
I
back
don't think
to you.
he has the voice for
We'll
Def-
see. I said try it on for size, my man. You don't know if jeans fit until you take them to the dressing room.
Oh, yay.
She loves this.
1962. Bobby Boris Pickett was number 1 with Monster Mash.
From my laboratory in the castle.
And I mean, could it be a more perfect time for this to actually be? I mean, the Monster Mash.
Cheesy, but she loves it. I
Yeah, I
love
mean,
it.
it is definitely very cheesy. No denying that. We'll jump up to 1970 next.
Okay.
I like this one. Free was number 1 with All Right Now.
Have you still not watched the movie?
Is this in it?
Yes.
What movie are we talking?
She bought me a movie to watch, like, I don't know, 60 years ago.
Well,
I'm
and
gonna
now
get
I can't even remember the title.
That's why I can't watch it. I look at it and I'm like, what am I? There's 5,000 movies up here. I don't even know which one I'm looking for.
I know this. I'll think of it.
We'll go to our last one here. 1986.
Last?
Yeah, it's my chart topper
What time
stopped
is
on
it?
1986. So
Who wiped out the 90s? What did we?
They took away our quarters.
there must have been no chart toppers.
They
in
were
the
a
90s
dime
and
at
the 80s.
this time in life. Glass Tiger.
Glass Tiger, yes. Don't Forget Me on this date in 1986.
I think this is really just Duran Duran coming back as Glass Tiger, because a lot of these bands sounded the same. Flock of Seagulls. Yeah.
So what? Do I pass today or no?
Depeche Mode. Yeah, sure. You get a B plus.
B plus. Okay.
Hey, Monster Mash for me.
Monster
winning.
Mash gives you an A.
Yeah.
So that pretty much. Do you guys have anything else? I mean, we
I got Tootsie Roll Candy waiting for me because we're going to do some crazy cool stuff with Tootsie Roll Candy. So continue to listen to In the Know throughout the rest of the month. We have lots of giveaways, and I'm excited.
Yeah, and I think we'll have more haunted house tickets tomorrow. So if you
We
didn't
have
win today,
tons.
yeah. So and I mean,
And if you don't like the haunted attractions, then we have candy
the
for you.
temperature's dropping, and I don't think we're gonna have a night like Friday night again. Knock on wood. So a haunted house there, yeah, nice drumming
thing
there.
wood?
So we'll just say it
Oh
is.
my God.
It works. It works well enough. So. Yeah, that pretty much wraps up our show here for today. So for Christy Buckles and for Misty Thomas, I'm Uncle Sam Gormley, and now you're in the know.
Powered by Heritage Media of Kentucky, WKHG Litchfield, Kentucky, USA. 104.9 FM, the Twin Lakes Best Mix.